Hello everybody, how's it going? It's Eamon here, back again with another video, and today we're just back in Lotus Simulator, Early Access Lotus Simulator, and today we're just going to do a short video just showing people the menus and what to do and how to set up multiplayer and just little bits and pieces like that in the Early Access part of the game. So when you load into Lotus, you are met with this screen. So you have your quick start, your single player. Your multiplayer at this point is blacked out and non-selectable because you haven't connected to a server. So I'm going to show you today how to connect to a server, how to create a game, and pretty much how to get a game started really. We'll just go through a few things first. So as you can see over here on the right, we have the Rails of Lotus installed, the Street of Lotus installed, and the Wings of Lotus is not installed because it's not out yet. So if you click on these, it will give you a bit of information about them and what's coming and stuff like that in the future. And then you can get all this on Steam, these descriptions on Steam. But I'm just kind of showing you that they're the two I have installed at the moment. So down at the bottom here, the bottom right, as you can see, it says I'm offline because I haven't connected to the online server at the moment. And then you have then a gamepad icon and a VR icon. So again, the gamepad icon will activate when you have your steering wheel set up and other little bits and pieces set up as well. Yes, at the time over there. So on this side we have a few little icons. So the first one is your options. So your options are just, if you know OMSI, you know all the kind of the bits and pieces that that are in here. You know, apart from multiplayer, you don't really have much. Your general options, there's a lot of them, and you can kind of play around with it to suit your PC because the game is not optimized that much at the moment, and I had to play around with it to suit me, and it didn't work, and then it just kind of went dead, and I got a lot of lag, and it was just like, ugh. So at the moment it's not really optimized that much for my PC. So I kind of need to play around with it a bit more. As you see in my previous video of Lotus, I was lagging a lot. But as I said, Ed, on the other hand, who has a decent PC, or really, actually, you know what? He had a decent PC. Now he has a beast of a PC. So you have all your usual options in here. So people that know OMSI who will be looking at this video will know what to do here. You have your AI. So your multiplayer is probably the newest one to people and what kind of people will be more interested in, I guess. So basically, I think what you should do when you first start is go into the options, hit multiplayer, and just click connect automatically. Because what that'll do, that will connect you to the server when you launch the game. So that way, the multiplayer option will be selectable as soon as you get in, as soon as you log into Lotus or load into Lotus. You have then, you can show teammates name, show teammates company, which is a thing of the future, I guess. Show own name and display own company, which is, again, I don't know what that is at the moment, but I'm guessing that's going to be a thing where you can have companies. Server language, at the moment I just have it in Dutch or Deutsch because I don't think there's any English servers around at the moment unless I'm creating them or Ed is creating them. I don't know any other English players that have the game, and I'll get onto that more in a moment. You have then your graphics. You can set your graphics to be good, bad, or indifferent. So mine are balanced at the moment. So if, say for example, I put mine to say the best graphics, or don't, they even tell me, look, don't put it up here because it's not going to work. It will lag a lot. So the best graphics would probably be, maybe Ed might be able to do the best graphics when it's done, I don't know, but at the moment mine are balanced, but I could put them down to first effects, which would mean that a lot of the objects have been taken out of map to give me better FPS, or I can just put it down to best performance, which would probably just give me a lot more FPS, and really it won't be great to look at all, you know. So I just leave it on balanced for now. I will play around with it more in the future. You have hotkeys here, which again, you can do kind of other things like mouse steering, you know, all the usual stuff, you know, 360-degree screenshot. I don't know what that is. I actually never looked in here, to be honest. And they're just basic, the key binding. your controller access when you have your controller access, and your sounds, and your add-ons, which I guess will be the stuff, the mods you have, because there is mods on the workshop already, and there's maps and other little kind of carts for the trams and stuff like that, but a few objects as well, you know. So yeah, so they're your options. Okay, so what we do now is that's then just the changelog mode, which gives you the changelog of what um the what's coming up and what's changed within the game. Again, a lot of it's in German, so it's no real use to us. So as I said, a lot of the stuff is in German, so that's why I'm doing this video, to show you all the English side of it, I guess. So when I click this little next icon, which is the earth, if you just click the earth, like click it now, because I'm offline, I will now be online. So that means that the multiplayer shows and the chat box as well shows. I'm just going to test the chat box. Command. Oh, maybe it's this, is it? CHAT test. No. So again, when you type in it, there's a certain way you have to type in the chat box, but I don't know how to do it because it doesn't work for me. So I can't show you. But the chat box is pretty much all in German. There's German players on it. There's no English players on it. Me and Ed had a nightmare trying to get the English players to help us out with the chat, but it wouldn't work. It says the commands are wrong anyway, so you have to look at the tips for the chat commandos, which is the chat commands, I guess. Damn, why doesn't that work? CHAT slash hello. No. Anyway, look, I don't think that's a big deal. That would be probably fixed, and you'll probably get a lot more English in there over time. Maybe in the future you might get an English and German chat box, which would be really awesome. So you can connect with everyone in the game world, really, which is really, really cool. So yeah, so that would be nice. You can also disable the chat box, which is probably even better at the moment because we don't want it. This then is the friends list. You can have a friends list. I don't have anyone as a friend at the moment, but I think if you can import your Steam friends or add a friend's name, and they should pop up and then you can add them. Or I don't really know which way that works, to be honest. Ignore someone, add a friend, then you write their name and then they pop up. But again, it's in beta, so I don't know if it works or not. Then you have groups. So this was my group last time I played, and it stays there, which is great. It stays the way it is, so you'll always have that group unless you want to leave the group. Now it doesn't really do anything if you leave it, but the group will always be there, so you have to leave a group to join a new multiplayer game, which I think is right. I'm not sure now. That's just Ed text me. He's going to come in now and see. I'll just give him a shout now. Hang on. So as you can see down the bottom here, as it says on the chat box here, Edward has, I guess, spawned into the server. In German, I guess it is. I'm not 100% sure. So it might be a good time now to show you the multiplayer, which is what this video is really about. So this here then is statistics, which doesn't really work either because we have to. Look, how did he do it? How did he write there? What did he do? Was it talk or chat? I forget. I think it was chat or talk. Sorry, you have to put a command on front of what you're going to write, as far as I'm aware. When you were online, hashtag connected to the Lotus servers, I presume you're doing it. Hashtag TEST. Okay, guys. So as you can see now, the chat box work. It's actually you put a command on and then talk and then test. So like that, which is silly that you have to have a command, but that'll change over time. Okay, so we're just going to show you how to set up a multiplayer game right now. So when you connect online, as I said, the multiplayer tab will load up. So you click in here, then you go to create a game. Now at the moment you have to have, the way this works is, if the other person doesn't have what you have, they can't join your game. So if I have, say, Streets of Lotus and Rails of Lotus, then Ed can join my game because Ed only has Rails of Lotus. But if Ed was to create a game with the Rails of Lotus, I won't be able to join because I have Streets of Lotus as well, but I also have Rails of Lotus. It's strange the way it works. So you have to click the X's on this just to show what vehicles are going to be included. Then you just go into the game, and then you choose a map, and we'll just choose the diorama map for the moment, which is the basic map that comes with the game. Then you create. So the game is created. So Ed will see in his menu that the game is created, and he'll come in, and his name should pop up now in a moment. I'm just going to tell him that it's ready to go. He should see it though, hopefully. So yeah, so the way it works is you have to have basically the modules, the rails and the streets. You have to have the same one as the guy that's creating the game. So for example, I have Rails of Lotus and Ed has Rails of Lotus, so Ed can join my game. But because Ed hasn't got, so if I hadn't got Rails of Lotus and just Streets of Lotus, then I couldn't join Ed's game because he only has Rails of Lotus. I know it sounds confusing, so I have Streets of Lotus only, okay? Ed has Rails only. We can't play the same game. But because I have Rails of Lotus and Ed has Rails of Lotus, he can join my game. So, but I only recently bought the Rails of Lotus, so that's why, you know. So as you can see now, Ed has joined my game real quick. So what we do now is we just change the time to 10:53. We don't have to, but I'm just doing it because it'll be bright. So then you go up here then, and you just click into this one. So Ed is starting in, where's he starting? Let's say he starts there, and then I will start there. So basically, yeah, so I hope that makes sense now, whereas you can't, if you don't have the same module as the guy who's creating the game, you can't join that game. If that makes sense. That's right, isn't it, Ed? I know you're going to have an issue with what I'm saying here, Ed, so I just want to kind of make it clear. So if if I don't have Rails of Lotus, I can't join Ed's game who has Rails of Lotus. If I have Streets of Lotus and Ed has Rails of Lotus, he can't join my game because he hasn't got Streets of Lotus. You have to have the same module to join a game. So if I host a game and I have the same module as Ed, I can play it. But if Ed hosts a game, yeah, no, if Ed hosts a game, I can still play it. I think that's right. Thinking now, let me think. It is right, yeah, because we both have the same module now, yeah. But if one hasn't got the other module, then we can't play, basically. I think. Okay, so look, we'll move on. So we'll go to vehicle choice now. So, because Ed hasn't got Streets of Lotus, he will be in a tram. So if I click here, I don't want to drive that, so I go over here to pick I go over here. So it gives you three modules: your rail, your steering wheel, and your wings, your airplane. So rail, tree, airplane. So I just click in here. It will give me the ND313. I OK that. Let me see now. Hang on. Now we're having trouble here. ND303. The vehicle please place a road vehicle solidarily. What? Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I was clicking new vehicle, sorry. Okay, yeah, so I changed that. So you'd have to click on the vehicle you have and then click it. Then I'm okay. I'm good to go. Then Ed should be good to go. And then it just loads in. If you're hosting a game, you have to have the same module as the people that have the game. Have that same module, I think. God, it's confusing. Anyway, so that's how you kind of set up an online game. It loads in, you load in your bus, Ed will load in his tram. So we'll just say, so you can actually hear Ed, he's booting it around already somewhere. There he is over there in his tram. So you see, it kind of, that's how easy it is to actually set up a game. It's just a module thing at the moment is a bit confusing, and hopefully they will sort that out soon enough, because it's a bit silly at the minute, you know. So we can set off now and play a multiplayer game, and away we go, you know. So yeah, so that's how it is at the minute, guys. That's the multiplayer. That's how easy it is to get it going. So so I could just literally go into my bus, start her up, so away I go. Now I'm getting 50 FPS on this map. On Munich I'm getting about 5 FPS, so it kind of swings and roundabouts really. So yeah, so that's it, guys. That's as easy as it is. Setting up multiplayer, and away we go. So so yeah, so thanks for watching this. Hopefully that kind of makes a little bit of sense. I know I probably didn't explain the modules that good, but it kind of, if you don't have a module and the other person has it, then you can't play it. So both of them have to have the same module in order to play the multiplayer. I think that's the way it explains. That's the way it explains. But I think over time, I think that might change, because I think, Jesus Christ, Ed, you frightened me. I think over time that will change, and people will might be able to just play normal, I guess, you know. I think everyone will have all the modules anyway, so it should be alright. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Ed, thanks for your help here, for dropping into the video. Really appreciate it. Kind of made it easier to show people how quick it was to get a game going. So yeah, so thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.